Hey there, and welcome to the Hey Kahla Podcast. We have video for the first time, so hopefully this works out. I am obviously your host, Kayla Evans, and in this episode, we are chatting all about owning our time and doing whatever the hell we want with it. Because this past week, after I posted my usual Coffee with Kayla selfie on the Monday of this past long weekend, we have some coffee, we have some inspirational quotes, journaling prompts to get our week started. I posted a photo where I looked like this, like my hair and makeup was done. And no sooner had I posted it, but I got a few DMs asking why I was all done up, why I was working on a weekend, why I wasn't at the lake relaxing somewhere. And my response was, and the truth is, because I was working that day. I actually worked the entire long weekend. And I've worked most weekends over the past several months, which I've come to discover upsets a lot of people who are not me. I'm okay with it. Obviously, I'm the one doing it. But I do get a lot of, but you deserve to rest, or it's the weekend, you're not supposed to work, or you're going to burn out if you keep working so hard. And while these are all coming from really well-meaning and caring people in my life, my friends, my family, members of the Hey Kahla community who I love, it's just not going to change my mind, right? My mama literally just sent me a text message saying, make sure you take the time to rest because this is a really busy week for me. And again, she means well, she loves me, she cares about me, she just wants the best for me, but not going to change my mind. And this is something that after I did a couple social media posts as well, people feel really fired up about. And if you've been in my world for a little bit, then you'll know that I am not ever about the insane hustle culture and working yourself to the bone or putting your business before your health. Like, that's just not me. I'm more of the slow, soft, cozy, comfortable kind of entrepreneur, coffee in hand, oversized clothes that just happens to work every day. And not because I feel like I have to, but because I want to. I want to. Like, nothing makes me happier than being in my purpose and working in my business and helping people feel better about themselves and helping people feel the best that they can be and feel the most confident they can be. And this is not me bragging about my work ethic, although as a country kid who's always had chores and responsibilities, I am pretty dang proud of my work ethic. This is just me sharing that I truly believe that it is more than okay to spend your weekends or your free time doing whatever the hell it is that you want to do. Like, that choice is yours. And whether that's working or resting or both, the choice is yours. It's up to you. And I do both. Yeah, this week is busy. And yes, I can spend an entire day working in my business, Hey Kahla Media. But honestly, a lot of the time, I have like maybe 4 or 5 good, really strong hours. And then the rest of my time is open to do with what I please. Like, I kind of peter out after then. And I spend the rest of my time just doing whatever my little heart makes, what does my mama say? Whatever makes your little heart happiest. That's what she says. And there are days where I'm going to work for the entire day and I won't have a break. And I'm here eating at my desk, or I'm snacking on protein bars and almonds in the car, and I'm running from appointment to event to meeting to see clients, to see people, to see friends. But those days are pretty rare. Like, they're pretty few and far between, maybe once every couple of weeks. The rest of the time, and most of the time, I have these slow, easy days because that's what my goal is for my life and for my business. I want my business to be a forever thing for me in whatever form that's going to take. And I know it's going to change and evolve as I change and evolve, but I am playing the long game. I want my business to be healthy, and I want to be healthy, and I want to be in love with it. I don't want to burn out. I don't want to resent my business. I definitely don't want to resent my clients ever. So I do take a slower approach to things. That's just who I am. That's how I am. And I mean, it wasn't always this way. Absolutely not. Last year, I did not take a single day off in the summer. I did not go to my family's cabin once. And I love Winnipeg Beach more than any other place on the planet other than my home. I didn't go on any trips, even short weekend getaways, didn't drive out to Regina to see my girlfriends, nothing. I was pretty much at my desk the entire time, but I was also brand new. I was just starting out and I was so unsure of what to do at the time. Like, I had no idea what I was doing. I was also following and listening to a lot of entrepreneurs who were go, 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 and very hustly and very masculine in their work ethic and very blood, sweat, and tears and just get it done, the you can sleep when you're dead kind of people. And I was starting to get really tired of working like that. Like I could not sustain that pace. But most importantly, I was starting to get really uninspired, and I hate that feeling. Ugh, like more than anything. I don't like it. So when this new year rolled around in 2024, and it was time to do my January journaling and my resetting and my vision boarding, I decided to take a big step back and instead hustle in a way that feels good and in a way that's more aligned with me. And I know a lot of people say that, but how many of us are actually living it? And a big thing for me was I unsubscribed, unfollowed, stopped listening to, stopped reading content, stopped watching people that made me feel that pressure. And they weren't doing it on purpose. Obviously, these people are huge. They have no idea I even exist. But I was starting to feel pressure from them that I was not doing enough or that rest had to be earned. Ugh. And deep down, that's just not how I am. That's not who I am. So 2024, needless to say, in my business, looks way different than 2023 did. And it actually looks different than my entire life did when I look back on my traditional TV and radio job. These were really fast-paced environments, right? You're always up early and you're running from one place to another and you've got deadlines and pressure and you're rushing and you're trying to get the scoop and you're trying to get it out first and be the best and always trying to be better and get the most viewers or get the most listeners or raise your ratings every single quarter. Like you were always hustling and trying to be the best at all times at the detriment of your own mental, physical, spiritual health a lot of the time. And honestly, I can't believe that I spent that long living my life like that. I didn't notice it at the time. I loved it at the time. But now that I'm able to build my own thing and I'm able to design a life and business that feels good, I really notice like the stark difference of how I was doing things. And I do want to take a moment to acknowledge that I know I am fully aware of the luxury and privilege I have to be building my own thing. I don't have children. I don't have other small humans I have to keep alive. My parents, thank everything, are very healthy and thriving, so I don't look after anybody other than myself. And I know that not everybody lives a life like that. But I do hope that whatever situation you're in, you are living a life that makes you feel inspired and happy and makes you feel good. And I want you to know that if you are working on your own thing or you have a side hustle or you have a passion project that's lighting you up right now, it's okay to work your own schedule and it's okay to work at your own pace. You can do whatever you want to do in most situations. And you shouldn't feel guilty about how you choose to spend your time. And I'm going to back up. I'm not going to say should. I shouldn't say should because I hate being told what to do. So I'm going to say maybe just consider if you'd like how you want to spend your time and then do it, like actually follow through with it because that's the other side of things, right? Also on the other side of things, if you do take a long weekend or a day or an entire afternoon to rest and read books, watch movies, go to the spa, hang out with your family, then you don't have to feel guilty about that either, right? Your time is yours for the most part, your free time anyway, to do with what you want. And I think that we can all give ourselves a break and we can spend our time the way we want to without guilt and without, shoulding all over ourselves. Like I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And admittedly, like I've never had a problem relaxing. Like I feel like I was just born relaxed. Like my favorite hobbies, they are relaxing. Like relaxing pretty much is my hobby. I drink coffee and tea. I read my books. I listen to music. I sit out in my garden. I cuddle my pets. I walk. I do yoga. Like those are my favorite things. I meditate. Like those are things that just by nature are relaxing. And I've also never felt guilty about doing those things because I love them so much. Why would I feel guilt over something that I love so much? But I know that that's also an area where I'm different and the cheese stands alone. This is my dad always used to tell me when I was a kid and I was doing something weird, the cheese stands alone. And I know this because my mama and my best friend are very type A busy go-getters who cannot freaking sit still. Like I honestly feel like they physically could not take an entire day off just to rest and do nothing if like $1 million was at stake. They are incredible mamas and human beings and badass women out there doing the thing. but I don't think they know how to take it easy or relax. It's actually the only thing they fail at is relaxing. And I know that they're not the only ones out there. I'm sure there's a ton of people. I know there's a ton of people, right? And maybe you're one of them that if you, let's say, took an entire afternoon off and you got cozy on your couch all curled up and you ordered some greasy Chinese food and you watched some trashy reality TV, that would be painful for you. Like that would physically be painful for you. Or maybe after the first episode was over or the spicy nudes were all done, you would be thinking, okay, what else should I be doing right now? Or you'd be, looking around the room at everything that needs to be tidied or straightened or dusted or replaced or repaired. Like that's just how your mind works and that's just how you are. And I want to just say again that rest isn't supposed to be earned. It's supposed to be integrated with your working life, with your home life, with your working time. And I do know from personal experience, and I do 100% believe that yes, there are seasons in your life when you're going to be busier. Like there's no doubt about that. Like things are going to come up, life changes. If you are launching something new, or maybe you're starting a new job, or you're moving homes, or maybe you're a brand new parent, yeah, you're not going to have a ton of leisurely hours to just sit around doing nothing on your couch, relaxing and breathing deep and hanging out being cool. Those are seasons of your life where things are hectic and you're busy and you're always going to be on the move. But I also don't think that that's sustainable for super long periods of time. And eventually your health, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, it's going to start to buckle a little bit, or it's going to start to buckle a lot. And personally for me, when I've been in those seasons, I just try to find smaller pockets of time to try to fit in rest. And it's like that for me during the hockey season. So next month, starting in September, when preseason starts for the Jets, as well as running my own company and working with some really big clients year round, I'm also one of the in-game hosts for the Winnipeg Jets and the Manitoba Moose, which I love. And it's a joy to do, but it does really fill up my calendar. And there are solid weeks where it's homestands, and especially December and January, especially if you're Ukrainian, like you celebrate all December, all January, you've got birthdays, you've got holiday gatherings to go to. And I don't get a whole afternoon or a whole Sunday a lot of the time to take off. But what I do then is I find these like smaller pockets. So in the morning, like I'll get up a little bit earlier, I'll sit with my coffee, my book by the window, watching the sunrise. Again, my hobbies are very relaxing. Or if it's an afternoon game, when I come home, I'll just turn off my cell phone, spend a couple hours doing whatever I want to do, usually ripping off the makeup and reading a book before I jump into making dinner or throwing a load of laundry on, right? And I do think that if we just get like a little bit creative, we can always find ways to create those little pockets of time to rest and recharge. And outside of parenting or our caretaking responsibilities or our job responsibilities, that yes, you have to do those things, your time is yours. And I do believe that. A couple years ago, I was listening to a Lori Harder podcast. She does the Earn Your Happy podcast. I love it. I've loved her for years. And she had said, there's nothing on your calendar that you didn't allow to be there. Everything that's on your calendar, you chose and you agreed to. And it was a smack in my face. I still remember it all these years later that, yeah, you have to take responsibility for your schedule. Well, you don't have to take responsibility for your schedule. You can put the blame elsewhere, but life becomes easier when you take responsibility for your schedule. And even times where I'm complaining that I'm so busy, where there's so much to do, I did that to myself. I said yes to those events. I agreed to do the things. It was my choice. There are some things you can't say no to, but there's a lot of things you can say no to. And even back in my corporate days, I was choosing to work in these fast-paced environments. I was choosing a job that had me getting up at 2 a.m. and screwing up my sleep schedule and my eating habits and making a mess of my life. Just like I'm choosing all the things in my life right now. We all are, right? And that reminds me of this super cliched quote. You see it all the time on Pinterest or Instagram, but it says, whatever you aren't changing, you're choosing. Oh, ouch, right? Oh, that smarts a little bit. But we always have the choice. That's the great thing about being human beings. That's the great thing about being adults. You have a choice. And I'm not saying that the choice is always clear. And I'm not saying the choice is always easy. And I'm not saying the choice isn't going to be scary as all hell to choose something different or to even make a choice in the first place, but you still have the power to make a choice and choose something different than your current circumstances. I got divorced years ago. That was not an easy choice. That was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life, but I still made that choice because time is the most important thing we have, and how we choose to spend it and who we choose to spend it with, that's what makes our life. And for the guilt that may be surrounding a choice that you want to make, or maybe you've been making a choice or doing something and you feel guilty about it, as a person who usually doesn't feel guilty about things, all I can really say, or I guess all I can really ask is, how does feeling guilty help you? Does it make you a better person? Does it help the people around you? Hell no. Being guilty doesn't make you a better person, it just makes you a guiltier person. It just makes you feel worse, right? And then that's reflected throughout the rest of your life, and you're spreading that around, and the people in your life aren't getting the best version of you. They're getting like a sad, guilty version of you. And again, I'm no longer a wife and I'm not a mother, so I don't suffer with mom guilt. I hear that that's a whole other realm and I can't say anything about that. But as a daughter, the last thing I would ever want my mama to feel is guilt over what she was or wasn't doing. She's doing the best she can. She's always done the best she can. And she loves me more than anything. And even when I was a little kiddo, I always knew that she loved me more than anything. And I never want her to feel bad or guilty over anything, ever. And I have a feeling like you're the same way. If you're part of the Hey Kahla community, you're a good person doing your best work. You shouldn't feel guilty. Same thing with my friends, right? They're busy, they're mamas, they're entrepreneurs, they're total rock stars. They're doing the best they can. And if they don't respond for a couple days, or if they have to cancel something last minute, or if they can't make it out to an event or watch me speak on a stage, I don't want them to feel bad about that. And I know it's not just as easy as sitting here, in my childless house saying, don't feel guilty. But that's what I'm doing. I'm saying, don't feel guilty. It's not going to work, no. And maybe one day I'll get an expert on here and we'll talk more about guilt and I'll get some more concrete examples for you. But I will leave you with this. The people who love you don't want you to feel guilty. They want you to be happy. They want you to feel like everything's good, because it is. And the people who are going to be put off by what you choose to do with your time and energy, they probably aren't the people that you want in your energy or in your circle or in your life, messing up your vibe anyway, right? Like, get rid of them. So again, it's like my mama always says, do whatever makes your little heart happy and try to alleviate some guilt going forward this week if you can. And if you do have some ideas or anything to add to this convo, please send me a note. I'm at info@heykahla.com. And this is also your weekly reminder to follow the show now that we have video, and I hope it worked, and share this episode with anyone you think could use some encouragement or a gentle nudge to do what they want with their time. And as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. For anything and everything else, you can head over to heykahla.com, or you can send me a note, again, info@heykahla.com. And I hope you have the best day.